How's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel. This week, I'm gonna be doing a black and gray Virgen Maria. So with that being said, let's get this day started. Let's go. Heading to the consultation, I was definitely excited to see the concept that I was going to be working with. The two options are Jesus or the Virgin Mary. It really all depends on what fits better on the arm, but she's really open to ideas, so I'm definitely going to try to guide her into the best decision. So this is on the arm, which is a little bit bigger. Where the hands are there, the face, it looks nice and fashionable. And then the other one is on your forearm.
My name is Gabriella and I work for the ophthalmology department and I work for Phoenix Children's Hospital. Today I'm going to be getting the Virgin Mary. It's going to be in my right arm, and the reason why I decided to get on that is because it's very meaningful for me. Yeah, I just want her to be permanently with me. I found Reyes on Instagram. I've been following him for years and just never had the opportunity to book with him. Our schedules never kind of met, but yeah, Instagram. So the consultation was actually it was my first time I had a consultation prior to a tattoo. You know, you get to meet the artist before you actually go in for the tattoo. So pretty cool. We shared ideas and I told him what I wanted. He told me what he thought would look good with what I had mentioned. So.
Okay. But if you were doing the whole entire sleeve, then we would customize in advance the whole thing and be like, this is exactly what you get, you know. But it's up to you at this point. I'm just giving you my point of view, but you get to decide. Regardless what placement you choose, I'm gonna get it. At the end of the consultation, I was excited to be able to execute the Virgin Mary on the outer forearm to start building a full sleeve. This is the first project that we're gonna be doing, so that way she can book later on and be able to connect it to the arm and just build a whole sleeve out of it. I think that's gonna really complement the fashion behind this sleeve. The significance behind this tattoo, it is very deep. It is connected to my client's pregnancy journey. She was not able to get pregnant for 2 years, and the Virgin Mary represents the day that she was blessed with the miracle of her two children. Child is one, children is two. I'm very honored that she chose me to execute such an important piece for her, especially because this tattoo, it is the one thing a lot of people are gonna see, and a lot of people are gonna be asking the significance behind it. So I have to make sure that execution is perfect and the placement is good so it can look amazing with whatever outfit she's wearing, with whatever, you know, jewelry she's wearing, because I think that a good tattoo doesn't just look good by itself, but it all depends on how you're gonna rock it, how you're gonna fashionably show it off, if that makes sense. Putting on that stencil was really simple. Honestly, it's just a single piece, so I didn't have to worry about too much about what's gonna go on the top, because the top of the arm is meant to complement the bottom.
So when I saw the stencil, I thought maybe I shouldn't go this big, but I had confidence that he was gonna kill it, so. I came in feeling very nervous, but literally like 10 minutes into the tattoo, like that was out the door. I didn't feel nervous at all after he started.
As soon as I started tattooing, I realized that her skin was soaking in the ink. To execute the soft shading on the face, I'm gonna be using a 13 curve mag with a voltage of a 6.0. A lot of you know that have been following me for many years on my YouTube channel. You guys know that I've used 5.0, but in this situation, I have to do really soft shading, nothing but solid black. So I'm gonna be bumping up my voltage to a 6.0. As many of you know, I do a lot of texture, I do a lot of cover-ups, so you guys never really get to see when I do soft shading on a piece. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to kind of showcase a different part of my style, to make it look a little bit more Chicano. So I'm really excited about this piece, and I know I'm gonna be able to execute it the way I have it in my mind. At some point in the session, my client's sister showed up to, you know, show some support, and they were just talking a lot of their history. What the f Their history. How long have you guys been sisters for? They were just chopping it up, sharing their stories with me, and I really like the bond that they have. You know, they're 5 siblings, but them two, they have the strongest bond, and they were telling me that they just like to hang out, they like to go out, they just experience a lot of things together, and I could tell they genuinely like to be with each other and be able to experience a lot of adventures and a lot of their journey.
How are you with pain? It's great.
She sucks with pain.
That's Spindy.
Yeah.
I loved what she chose, but I didn't think she would go through with it just because her pain tolerance isn't the best.
So you're doing the most is with these little socks.
Growing up together was actually when we lived like 2 blocks from here. So it was like 3-story apartments, and they had like those escalones. Like, I don't know if you've ever lived in apartments, but it's like the ones that have like piedra in it, that if you fall, you're gonna fuck up your knees. And me and her used to go, and we were little, and we would hide inside the laundry rooms, the dryers, and we would hide there for hours inside of them. So my mom wouldn't find us, and then we would run up all the way to the 3rd floor thinking we were baddies, you know?
No way.
And then we would spit at people from the 3rd floor going down. Whenever I think of like, okay, take me back to my childhood,
memories, those are it.
That's it. Like, that's it for me, you know?
For me too, yeah.
Once I got to the back of the forearm, I could tell that it got a little bit more sensitive for her, so I had to make sure to start navigating and be able to kind of treat the skin a little bit more gentle, just because I could tell she was hurting a little bit more.
So in the beginning, I think the most painful part was probably like towards like the elbow area. Least painful was when we started like towards like the wrist. I think that was the least painful. Generally, like just like the first hour and a half, 2 were probably the least painful for me.
As you already know, I'm going to be using my cover-up sets created by Dynamic to be able to execute the cheekbone of Virgin Mary. I'm going to be using a 13 curve mag to be able to give me those soft tones that I need, and I'm using nothing but solid black. I'm only using the pressure of my hand to create those different tones without diluting the ink. I just definitely feel like I like the style, I like the way it looks, I like the way it heals, and I like the way it holds on skin for sure. So I'm gonna start with this corner here, and I'm gonna make sure to brush it. I'm gonna be running my machine at 6.0, which is very rare when I switch my voltage to a higher voltage, but in this situation I have to do that to be able to create those soft tones. So yeah, I'm barely gonna tap the skin, barely caress the skin. I don't want to be too aggressive, because remember that you're using nothing but solid black. So if you apply too much pressure on the skin, you're gonna create a black line and you're gonna ruin the whole face. So please be very careful when you attempt this style. It is not an easy style to do. I would suggest, if you are starting to get comfortable with your machine, if you barely started to tattoo, practice on fake skin before you attempt it on skin, because it is very easy to make the face super dark, and you have to be very mindful on how you apply it. So as you can see, I'm taking my time, I'm not rushing it. I want to make sure that I don't see too much of the mag strokes. That's how I'm going to build it. This is going to irritate the skin a little bit, as long as you don't oversaturate. I've tried doing to dilute my ink, and I like it. I like the way it looks. I like the way it heals. It's just I feel that I can do better work when I apply nothing but solid black. Once it heals, I just love the look. I like the way it looks a little bit silver, like a gray tone, but the black holds super nice. It looks like you did it yesterday. Your tattoo is always gonna look healed. It's always gonna look fresh. without needing touch-ups and things like that. But of course, I'm pretty sure a lot of artists have a different opinion, and I know that they have a different approach, and they can definitely guarantee amazing work by doing gray wash. It's just for personal opinion. I feel like this definitely helps me a lot better to create better tattoos. Make sure that if you're an artist that's trying to use this technique, make sure to have a machine that's over 4.0 stroke, just because a 3.5 is not going to be strong enough to really apply the ink. And for this technique, you need the machine to have a strong hit to be able to penetrate the skin at a soft impact. But if you're using a softer machine, you're just gonna irritate the skin a lot without penetrating the skin, and the ink is gonna be super light. And next thing you know, you're gonna try doing another pass, and that's when the ink is gonna turn super black into the skin. So be very careful. That's some big suggestion that I have, especially with this approach. So this is a technique that I'm gonna keep using. I'm gonna go ahead and time-lapse the rest of the cheekbone so you guys can really see the process of it, but I wanted you to see real-time tattooing so you can see my movements and the way I'm applying the ink. But if you have any other questions, feel free to reach me in my Instagram, and I'll make sure to answer any questions that you guys have. That shit looks nice.
To me, my tattoo means it's very meaningful. It means pretty much healing, faith, and unconditional love. I think those are probably the 3 words I would use to describe. Being able to have this tattoo with me permanently means quite a bit, because I know that she's with me permanently, forever, and so that makes me feel protected.
Halfway through this tattoo, I'm really liking the contrast on it. All I gotta do now is just complete it. Super easy. Her skin is taking it like nothing, super smooth. Honestly, my favorite thing about it is gonna be the face. I can already tell. I'm about to start doing the chin area, so I know I'm gonna kill it right now. So as I'm getting closer to finishing up this project, I realized that the veil of the Virgin Mary looks a little blank for me, so I'm going to be freehanding a little bit of designs on it. You can usually see these designs on statues, so definitely I want to mimic that to make it a little bit more, just give this statue more to look at than just a simple veil. I think it looks very empty. So I'm going to go ahead and get started up here by doing a double line first. Very light. It doesn't have to be aggressive, because once it becomes too aggressive, it just takes away from the whole thing. And I'm just going to be brushing my liner. It's a 7-round liner, and it's only on the top one. Usually you see it on the top of the veil. Some statues, they have it throughout, but in this case, I'm only going to be doing it on the top one. It just gives it a little bit more to look at. It gives it more fashion. You can see, very light. There it is. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of filigree inside. I would suggest to look at a reference if you feel a little lost on how to create these designs. I've done it for many years, so I was able to memorize a lot of these designs without a problem. So that's why I'm able to make these decisions on the spot without any fear that it's going to look bad, because I'm 100% on the outcome. Towards the end of this appointment, I was excited to just complete this project. It was looking amazing the way I envisioned it. That's the way I was executing it, and I could tell my client was really liking it as well. So the only thing I had to do is just continue with the same momentum and finish it.
My experience since yesterday has been amazing. I mean, great communication from coming here. I felt comfortable. There was never like an awkward moment, which made, the time fly So definitely think my dad's probably gonna be the most surprised, just because I don't think, like I said, I don't think he would ever have thought that I would have gotten, you know, a Virgin Mary, but I think they're gonna like it. They're gonna like it. And my kids, they're probably gonna trip out, but they'll love it.
Damn. That is sick.
Oh my god. Bro.
Thank you so much for coming back and watching this brand new video. I really appreciate you. And do you have a tattoo that has a really deep meaning behind it? And if you do, drop a comment. I'll be reading all your posts and I'll be more than happy to read your stories. So with that being said, if you're a tattoo artist, I hope you learned something from this video. And if you're a tattoo enthusiast, I hope you were entertained. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.